Welcome to the HMG Executive Leadership Spotlight. Here's our host, Hunter Muller.
Hello and welcome to HMG Strategy Spotlight. I'm Hunter Muller, founder and CEO of HMG Strategy. I'm here with Christopher Desautel. He's a Senior Vice President and CDO of Berkshire Hathaway Home State Companies. Christopher, congratulations on being an HMG 2024 Global Leadership Institute CDO of the Year.
Thank you very much, Hunter. I really appreciate it. Obviously, it's a great honor to be included. There's been a lot of folks in the past that have reached that honor, and to be part of that group is fantastic. I appreciate it.
Christopher, you're doing some great stuff, some amazing stuff. Top line, you're not only the CIO, you're the CDO, you're on the board at Berkshire. Talk to us about your journey.
Really, it's been a journey of learning. Started with the company as the CIO, and then over time, as we've grown and as the needs around technology and the needs of our business have grown, just being able to be, adding responsibilities to my plate, and it's really great to be part of the team and doing all those different things.
Talk to us a little bit more about being on the board. What is that like? I mean, that's an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah, it's really, we've got a local board for the Berkshire Hathaway Home State Companies. Each of the individual Berkshire companies has their own version of that, and then there's an overall corporate board. But this is the local board, and it's great to be part of that to understand what we talk about and learn about how that governance works. Again, it's another opportunity to grow and learn, and also be add value back to the company.
And then you went from being the CIO to the CDO. Share with us the story about how that evolved.
It was really about recognizing an opportunity for us to just use technology and how we improve our customer experience, looking at our external platforms and understanding we've got a great opportunity there that maybe we were missing in how we go to market to our customers, what type of digital experience we bring to them. And so I approached my boss, the CEO, with that opportunity, and he said, "Fantastic, you own that now. We're going to make you Chief Digital Officer, and you're going to need to help drive our digital customer experience program so that we really create that, what I call a signature experience for our customers."
Signature experience. I love that. We're talking about global visionary leadership in very trying or opportunistic times with an incredible innovation cycle that we're all on. Talk to us about your global visionary leadership.
Well, I think it's really, that it first comes down to communication, right? Communicating what you want to do, what you need to do in the business terms, and then follow with the technology piece. Part of it too is really investing in relationships, building that relationship capital with my peers, the C-suite, and other parts of the organization, and then being transparent about everything you do. Candidly communicate your successes, your failures, the risks, the opportunities. Obviously, along the way, you have to deliver results for the company. And then lastly, really being ready and open to transform how you do things, whether it's your team, your processes, your technologies, because the pace of change has been relentless, and you really can't get locked into one way of thinking, one way of doing things, one process. Being nimble is really important, especially nowadays.
Christopher, things are changing dramatically, right, in this innovation cycle with AI and cyber. Where are you placing your bets? What is strategically the most important aspect of your go-to-market right now?
We look at things really in terms of, a portfolio of where are we going to invest to grow our business. In fact, we've got 4 tenets that we look at. One is really profitable growth. What do we need to do to invest and enable profitable growth? Another one is customer experience. That's always a focus for us. How can we continually improve our customer experience? And then looking internally, operational efficiency. Where do we have opportunities to improve ourselves, whether it be from a process standpoint, a lead time standpoint, a cost standpoint? And then lastly, and certainly not least, is what do we need to do to continually invest in our people, which is one of our most valuable resources to how we go to market, how we deliver services to our customer.
Let's talk a little bit more about that. People matter. You're building a world-class team matters. How do you build a world-class team?
It's really about habit, right? Every day, on a daily basis, your habits, your words, your actions, that's what builds that culture. You can have you can have a team building event, but if your culture plan, if your team building plan is based upon an event, that's not going to last very long. That's going to get old. And it's really, again, a constant communication, and encourage diversity in both ideas and background experience, and make sure you're candid with your team and yourself, because that's going to lead to better outcomes. Also, the flip side of that is actively listening. What's working, what's not working. It's going to enable trust. You're going to allow you to make course corrections, enable other people's success, which quite frankly is more important. And that builds the ability for me and others like me to be successful. The success of our teams determine the success of the individuals. And then the last thing that we do is we create shared commitments. And that is, we get together as a leadership team, we talk about commitments that we're going to make together, that we're going to share and own together, and then we're going to measure it on a periodic basis. How are we doing? Are we meeting our commitments? Are we not? What are we going to do about it? What course corrections do we need to have?
Great stuff. When you think about Berkshire, we all think about the famed Warren Buffett. What is it about the culture at a Berkshire company that really is outstanding or uniquely different?
One of the things that, there are 61, I think, as last count, operating companies at Berkshire, and we're just one of those. But one of the things that tends to be a tenet across all of the companies, it's called the do the right thing. And that's when faced with a big decision or an important decision, whether it's an investment, it's a personnel, investing in people or issues that pop up, we'll always ask ourselves, well, what's the right thing to do? And that might be the most expensive thing. It might be the most difficult thing, but if it's the right thing, then we all sleep better. And we say, this is what we need to do. That's part of the Berkshire culture, is ask ourselves, what's the right thing? So we always do the right thing.
So then culturally, and for you, it fits your persona, your professional values and principles. Why does it fit? Because that's a really, really interesting insight.
It makes it easy in some ways, to be honest with you, because if that's always the backdrop, it always can help make tough decisions if you use that as the backdrop. And I think it also attracts people to the company who know that, if you're going to operate with integrity and you're going to think about what's the right thing for the people, the customers, it just makes difficult decisions oftentimes easier to make.
When you think about your boss, you report to, talk to us about that relationship. What do you like, and where are you improving your leadership style?
I can tell you that when I first interviewed, the reason I came initially to Berkshire Hathaway was my boss, and the reason that I've stayed for as long as I have has been my boss. We've got a good relationship. He's very candid. He tells me what's working, what's not working, and that's great, because that allows me to understand maybe where my blind spot is, or maybe where I'm not, investing the appropriate amount of time or talent in moving some things along. Also, that relationship helps me understand where he wants to go, where he wants the business to go, and it helps me better align to that, so that the team that we've got going is focused in on bringing that forward to the business for how he wants to go. So that relationship is important, and I think for anyone in my role, having the really good relationship with the CEO it is critical to how you perform, and quite frankly, how your team performs.
So you report to the CEO. So here's a question for you. What's the mission and vision for the company? And what was your why when you joined? And what's your why now?
I think that the mission has changed, or it's really been very similar from when I joined to where we are now. And it's really those tenets that I talked about before, is focusing in on profitable growth, focusing in on that customer experience, investing in our people, and doing the right thing. Those strategies have not changed. The tactics in which we use have changed along the way, whether it's process, whether it's technology, whether it's how we're organized. But it allows us to have that continuity of mission, and allows us to be flexible on how we achieve it based upon the needs of the marketplace and where the company is in its journey.
Christopher, it's been a pleasure to know you and pleasure to interview you. Congratulations on being a 2024 HMG CDO of the Year for a mid-cap organization. Looking forward to seeing you soon.
Thanks a lot, Hunter. I really appreciate it, and it's always great an opportunity to work with HMG, especially with all the summits that you do and all the value that you bring, and bringing people together with relationships is fantastic.